my name is Allison Faust, and my discrepant event is called the Magical Pop Rocks Expander. So in this event, we are going to be exploring the magic of Pop Rocks on a whole new level. So to do that, we are going to take Pop Rocks and dump them into a bottle of soda that has a balloon attached to the top of it, and observe what happens in the soda, what might happen to the balloon. And the goal is to look at the physical change that is responsible for this. So for this event, you only need 5 items. It's very simple. You just need a 16 to 20 ounce bottle of soda, a kitchen funnel, a pack of Pop Rocks, a balloon, and a paper plate. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So before we actually do the experiment, I'm going to start going over the student data sheet, the worksheet that I have designed for my students for this experiment. The first section on this worksheet is the prediction section. So there are 2 questions where students kind of make their predictions before the experiment happens. So the first question is, what do you think will happen to soda when Pop Rocks are poured into it? Describe what you expect to see. We are not talking about the balloon yet. So the students might say that they expect to see a lot of fizzing and popping going on in the soda, so kind of a reaction maybe between the Pop Rocks and the soda. And the next question is, will anything happen to the balloon during this time? Explain. So they should explain that the balloon might expand in some way, whether they say that it's because the soda goes up into it, or there's some type of air that goes up into it, or just maybe even they might suggest a gas. After this, we move to the experiment. So I'm going to walk you step by step through how to do this experiment. So first, you want to get your bottle in front of you and go ahead and take the lid off and put it to the side. And then you want to go ahead and put it on your paper plate. So this paper plate is just in case there's any fizzing that happens and overflows. You want to make sure that you're prepared for any type of mess that might happen. And then you want to take the kitchen funnel and put it down in your balloon. After you do that, you can open your packet of Pop Rocks. Then you want to pour them into the funnel to go down into the balloon. And you might have to shake it a little bit for them to go down. Shake it or tap it. So after you've done that, you need to carefully remove the funnel from your balloon. And you take your balloon and stretch it over the mouth of the bottle. So when you do this, be sure that you have your balloon to the side. You don't want to dump in the Pop Rocks before you're ready to do so. So after you've done that, grab the balloon at its lowest point and then dump the Pop Rocks into the soda. So you watch as it fizzes and reacts, and the students will probably be pretty amazed at this. And so after they've kind of observed what's going on, I've got 3 questions that I'm going to ask them to start leading them in the direction of really thinking about what's going on. So the first question to ask is, of course, what is causing this fizzing or popping sound? So students should say that the Pop Rocks are dissolving and this is causing them to fizz and pop with the soda. They might even say that they're reacting with the soda. And the next question is a substance being released? How do you know? So this is how they're going to think about what is actually happening with this balloon here. So they should say that yes, a substance is being released. This should point them to recognizing that, okay, this is maybe why the balloon is expanding. There's some type of substance here that's causing it to expand. And the next question is, how do you think that the Pop Rocks in the soda release this substance, or is it only released from the Pop Rocks? So here they might say that the Pop Rocks are the only thing that is releasing this substance, but it's a good way to point out that the Pop Rocks and the soda are actually both releasing a substance here. So what is this substance is the next question. So they might say that it's air or some type of gas. And so then you would point out that it's actually carbon dioxide gas that's being released. And then how do you think it is released from these things? So they might have some ideas, but the way that these are released is actually that in the Pop Rocks, they are dissolving in the soda. And so as they do so, the candy shells burst and the carbon dioxide that has been trapped inside is actually released, and it goes up through the balloon and it causes it to expand. But also the soda, when the Pop Rocks are dissolved into the soda, the pressurized carbon dioxide that is actually in the soda attaches onto the little microscopic dents and bumps of the candy that is down in the soda, and these bubbles are released up into the balloon as well, so they also cause the balloon to expand. So by answering this question, students are able to see that both processes with the Pop Rocks and the soda are actually causing the balloon to expand. So that is nice that that question allows them to be able to really make that connection, which is important in this event. So going back to the worksheet, now that the students have seen the experiment and kind of asked themselves some questions about it, the next section that we move to is called findings, and so it has one question. It is, were your predictions correct? If not, explain what was different. So the students will look back at their predictions and see if they have made the correct prediction that yes, the Pop Rocks are going to fizz and pop when they're dumped into the soda, and if they have said that the balloon is going to expand, then their predictions were correct. But if not, then they can go back and see what they thought and then explain what was different from this. So this is a good tool to see where you were, what you thought in the beginning, and then compare to what you've learned now. So the next and last section is called explanations, and so this section has 3 different questions. So the first question for students to answer is, how did the soda and the Pop Rocks cause the balloon to expand? So students should say that both the soda and the Pop Rocks, the pressurized carbon dioxide gas that exists in both of them, was released, and this was what came up into the balloon and caused it to expand. So the second question involves a connection with the standard that this discrepant event is connected to. It says to describe the cause and the effect of the physical change that the carbon dioxide gas undergoes in both the soda and the Pop Rocks. So this really forces students to think about what really happened to cause what happened to both of these items in the event. So I really like this question. So for the carbon dioxide in the soda, the students would say that the cause was that Pop Rocks were dissolved into the soda, and the effect of this was that the pressurized carbon dioxide in the soda collected mini bubbles. It formed mini bubbles onto the little dents and bumps that were microscopic on the little pieces of candy, and so these bubbles were able to be released and cause the balloon to expand. And then for the carbon dioxide in the Pop Rocks, the cause was also that the Pop Rocks were dissolved into the soda, and so the effect of this was that the candy shells burst from being dissolved, and because of this, their trapped pressurized carbon dioxide in them was released and was able to go to the balloon and expand it as well. So students will actually use a little table to fill in their thoughts about that. And so the last question is, would another candy cause the balloon to inflate? How are Pop Rocks different from other candies? So students should say that No, I don't really think another candy could cause the balloon to inflate, even though maybe they could experiment with this in the future. And Pop Rocks are different from other candies because they have the trapped and pressurized carbon dioxide in them that allows them to release that in this experiment and cause the balloon to expand. So that is really causing them to focus on that being the main takeaway from this experiment. And I like ending on this question because it forces them to apply the knowledge that they've learned in this experiment to outside sources, comparing it to other candy, and so that shows that they can apply the knowledge that they've learned. So I think that's really great. So I thank you for watching my discrepant event today, and I hope that you've had a poppin' time doing so.